What's up, everyone? This is Christian Duke, the Iron Duke Speaks, brought to you courtesy of IronMagLabs.com. Remember to use discount code IML15 to save 15% off the most hardcore bodybuilding supplements available at IronMagLabs.com. So, this past week I was in Pittsburgh from Tuesday till Sunday for the 2019 NPC Teen Collegiate Masters Nationals. Over 1,000 competitors, over 200 Ivy Pro League Pro cards issued. I did dozens of interviews, took hundreds of photos. It was exhilarating, it was awesome. But all the while I was thinking about this topic for this Iron Duke Speaks. And I didn't want to do it on Friday, I didn't want to do it on Saturday. I wanted to make sure that, I had the clearest picture, the most information available to me. I wrote an article for it for ironmagazine.com, which should probably come out tomorrow or the next day. And it's a topic that I really didn't want to talk about, but I'm going to talk about because I've been literally inundated with DMs. I've gotten a few emails about it, but more so DMs, I would say. I think one person might have asked me on Facebook, but really it's been an Instagram thing, and I've been getting at least 2 or 3 DMs a day. What's my take? Because of the fact that I do so many interviews and I go to so many shows and I know so many coaches. And of course, I'm talking about William Bonac and Neil Hill and the fallout. And I don't know Neil Hill. And I've met William Bonac a few times, and he's been very, very nice to me. And I like him a lot. And I think one of the things that he did that really, really impressed me was when Brandon Curry won the Arnold Classic. And he went to his fans and he said, listen, I gave my best. He gave his best. He won the competition. Don't take anything away from him. Don't hate on him. That my gosh, blew me away. And I also know that, a year ago, I believe, he had that issue with Louis Marco. And, I don't hate anyone, but Louis Marco is a straight up troll. I don't care what supplement company decides to sign him. I don't care how many subscribers he has. He's largely a troll. And I thought William handled him in a pretty good way. He did get under his skin, unfortunately, but I think William, for the most part, to me, William Bonac is an exemplary bodybuilder. He's an Arnold Classic champion. He's a very, very serious contender for the Mr. Olympia. That being said, Neil Hill is a fantastic coach who has helped William Bonac get that Arnold Classic victory, who helped the Welsh Dragon James Flex Lewis for 7 consecutive Olympia 212 Showdown titles. And someone that has a whole army of clients that have a whole army of positive testimonials to give about his expertise, his transparency, his getting back to his clients, and him helping his clients get progressively better in the placings. So that being said, this makes this video very unfortunate, to say the least, and puts me in an awkward position because I don't like reporting this type of news. However, when I am, as I said, inundated with direct messages on Instagram, then I start to become a bad journalist if I ignore, and don't talk about what I'm being asked to talk about by a lot of people, particularly some people that have been with me for 5, 6, 10 years, even one person. So I can't ignore it any further. What I will say is that I feel that William going to Instagram, his personal Instagram, he wasn't being interviewed, he wasn't doing any kind of a major production. He got on Instagram and he said what he had to say, and it was painful for him to talk about it, obviously. I mean, him and Neil had a very good relationship, and even if it was cut and dry and distant, which I don't think it was, even if it had been cut and dry and distant, these guys worked together for years and shared many, many great memories in the sport of bodybuilding. My gosh, can you imagine winning the Arnold Classic? And the year that William won it, it was not a weak lineup. It was a tough lineup, and William fought hard, and William looked probably one of the best times in his whole career. So they can't take that away from Neil or William. That was something that was huge, and they were together a part of it. And so I'm sure that this was a painful thing for him to do on his Instagram. Now, I know RX picked it up and released it. I don't know if William gave permission or not. I would hope that he did. So, Neil went on Nick Strength and Power, probably felt like he had to redeem himself, probably thought that, you know, in a lot of people's eyes, you know, after William's Instagram live, he probably didn't look so favorable. So he wanted to make sure that his side of the story went out. And he went on Nick Strength and Power's channel. And Nick Strength and Power is an old-time friend of Louis Marco's. I'm not saying there's anything there, but Louis Marco and William Bonac do not get along. Nick Strength and Power gave Neil Hill, you know, the ability to say whatever he needed to say. They were talking about the percentages and salaries and bonuses, about companies that Neil brought to the table, about companies that William brought to the table. And I don't think that that was really... I'm not judging Nick Miller, but I don't think that that was the most appropriate thing to do because, you know, I don't feel that something like that should have happened without William Bonac in the house. I don't think William Bonac would have given Nick Miller an interview, much less now, but maybe he will. I don't know. I felt like for William Bonac, he was just speaking, you know, getting stuff off his chest. That's what it looked like. Neil Hill, on the other hand, had more time to think about it, more time to reflect. He had an interviewer that was actively engaged in the process. I'm not saying that Neil was not being honest. I'm not saying that Bonac wasn't being honest. I'm just saying that for Neil, it was more of a, like, I don't want to say production, but it was more organized. It was more, he had more time to think. There was a couple times when he was talking about figures where, I don't know, it seemed maybe he wasn't sure, or maybe... I don't know. I just think all in all, once you have Nick Strength and Power involved and RX Muscle involved and, you know, other media outlets involved, then it becomes sort of what I did not want to cover to begin with. But now, because I've been inundated and because I feel like now I'm not being a good journalist by ignoring the fact, I have to weigh in. But, you know, but I'm not really the media that I'm talking about. I'm doing it like when it's so old that it's pretty much dead, buried, and gone. But when you get certain media outlets out there with huge amounts of subscribers who, honestly, let's call it like it is, do a lot of work in the clickbait realm, do a lot of work in the buzz realm, and do a lot of work in the he said, she said realm, then you have essentially, just a mudslinging fest. And it makes it all the more difficult for William Bonac and Neil Hill to make up and maybe work together one day again or move forward. I don't know. So that's that. So who do I believe? I don't know. Who's in the right? I don't know. What do I do know? I do know that you can save 15% off at ironmaglabs.com with discount code IML15, and I do know that I'll see you next week.